A pizza delivery driver is among almost a dozen rescues carried out across New South Wales as authorities issue more than 100 flood warnings and call for residents to stay alert. Residents are being warned not to be fooled by a brief sunny respite over the next few days as flood waters continue to rise. The mild weather is also likely to be short-lived, with more rain forecast again on Wednesday and Thursday next week, when another system moves across the state. Read more. Protesters arrested after gluing themselves to Picasso painting "My message is please don't be deceived." The sun might be out in various parts of the state, we may be seeing some dry conditions at the present, but our rivers continue to rise and we know that there is another event coming through, NSW Emergency Services Minister Steph Cook said. For many, it's the fifth flood in 18 months. On Sunday night there were more than 100 warnings from the SES over flooding, the worst hit being parts of northwest Sydney including the Hawkesbury. In parts of regional NSW dams are overflowing, and rivers and creeks are breaking their banks too. The last time Windermere Dam in Mudgee's Field was 32 years ago, and in Dubbo the Macquarie River is a brown lake creeping into the town. Read more. Once drought-ravaged farm in outback NSW now surrounded by water. Other dams are at full capacity, with Sydney's Warragamba Dam currently releasing 90 gigalitres a day. With ground saturated, any more rain will come with the risk of flash flooding, and drivers are being urged to take care on the roads. Please do not drive or enter flood waters under any circumstances. It places you at risk, it places your family or passengers at risk, and it places at risk the lives of the emergency services volunteers who continue to turn up day in, day out to help where required, Cook said. The NSW State Emergency Service, SES, has issued 104 warnings across the state, and Commissioner Carleen York is warning residents to evacuate early and take extra precautions. Jane Golding from the Bureau of Meteorology said up to 100 millimeters of rain fell along some parts of the NSW coast over the past 24 hours, while up to 50 millimeters fell across western and central western slopes. Overnight, the SES responded to 343 requests for assistance, 21 of those being flood rescues. Near Wollongong, the local pizza delivery car driver had to be rescued from his vehicle. Severe weather warnings relating to strong winds are no longer in place for the Illawarra, Metropolitan and Hunter districts, with conditions easing as the low-pressure system moves offshore. Heavy rainfall leading to flash flooding is no longer expected, however there are multiple flood warnings for much of the state, including emergency warnings for Aurora Beach camping near Wagga and Western Plains Tourist Park at Dubbo. Evacuation orders issued. There are fresh evacuation orders northwest of Sydney. Along the Hawkesbury River, minor flooding is occurring at Penrith, North Richmond, and Windsor. Minor flooding was expected at Sackville and Lower Portland from late Sunday onwards. At Gronos Point, north of Sydney, the SES are directing people who live on along Gronos Farm Road and Mans Road to evacuate immediately due to flooding. Residents near the intersection of Sackville Road and Tisana Road, near the Hawkesbury River, as well as those living in some properties on West Portland Road in Sackville have been advised to leave before 11:45 p.m. tonight. Some residents on Laws Farm Road in the rural Hawkesbury community of Cumberland Reach were also told to leave. Locals in the Riverside Ski Park and Cat Eye should also leave, along with residents in Lower Portland east of the Hawkesbury River, Nabal's Caravan Park, and Riviera Ski Gardens. Some residents of properties in Lower Portland east of the Hawkesbury River on River Road told to evacuate by 5 p.m. An evacuation order for before 7 p.m. was in place for some properties in Cumberland Reach on Laws Farm Road, Lower Portland, also in the Hawkesbury. 4 SES evacuation centers have been set up, in North Richmond, Dubbo, and Castle Hill. Due to the widespread rain, multiple inland and coastal rivers are forecast to reach major or near major flood levels over the coming days. They include the Warren on the Macquarie River, Nanami, Cottons Wear, Jimalong, Uwabalong, Forbes on the Lachlan River, Gundagai on the Murrumbidgee River, while Moringal on the Kalgoorlie River and Tilpa on the Darling River. Some catchments east of the Divide are experiencing new flooding from this event, including the Hawkesbury and Nepean. 225 EAT02:30 EAT02:35 EAT02:40 EAT02:45 EAT02:50 EAT02:55 EAT. Here is also a hazardous surf warning for the Macquarie Coast, Hunter Coast, Sydney Coast, and Illawarra Coast. It comes as September rainfall for the state was 126% above the 1961 to 1990 average, which is fifth highest September rainfall on record. Floodwaters to hang around for months. Cook said that dangerous conditions continued in the state and some communities were likely to be affected by floodwaters for some time to come. We have also got dangerous surf and damaging wind, potentially bringing trees down and completely saturated landscape, creating the risk of landslips at this time, Cook said. We know that for inland New South Wales, the floodwaters will continue to be a problem for communities not just for the weeks ahead but for months. For the latest warnings, visit the SES website.